Good morning, everybody. All right. Thank you for being here. All right. Well, I'm Kathy Silberman. I'm from Academic Alliances, and I have some colleagues on here as well from Academic Alliances. And we are pleased to be hosting the College Connections webinars. And this morning, we have the College of Global Futures with us. And so I would like to turn it over to Will Cobb. He is the Associate Director for Student Enrollment, Access, and Impact at the College of Global Futures, and he will introduce you to his team.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Really excited to share with you about our programs here at the College of Global Futures. So for our college, we are the newest college within ASU. Obviously, there's quite a few different colleges and programs across ASU. All of our programs are focused on planetary health, and that means something different to every one of our students, right? Whether it's a student that's in sustainability, focusing on creating the thriving, healthy planet, or whether that's students that are working in innovation at the intersection of humans and technology. So just wanted to say a quick shout out to Kathy. Thank you for letting us participate in this. And we're really excited to share with you about our programs today. So for us in our programs here at the College of Global Futures, if you know about ASU at all, I feel like this is everywhere, like on our websites. If you live here in Phoenix, you've probably seen this on the buses that drive around, but ASU ranks number one in sustainability, number one in innovation, and number one in global impact. We take these rankings as a huge responsibility because we actually have the School of Sustainability. We have the School for Innovation, and obviously we're the College of Global Futures, and so we are really working to make a global impact. For the work that our students are doing, when we say global impact, it's not just our students, but it's also our faculty, it's also our staff, and we all take this responsibility very seriously. And when we talk about like making a global impact, we're really talking about a local. So we start local right here, even in the Valley, working up to the statewide of Arizona, working on a national level, and obviously with the global impact piece, working on a global level as well. So let's change the future together. I wanted to introduce you to the team. We have a few of us here today. Obviously, you've met me already. I wanted to introduce Beth Volker, who's our Director of Academic Services, and she's here on the call with us. I wanted to introduce Shelby Frederick, who's our Senior Coordinator working with student enrollment. And then I wanted to introduce Alicia Fritz as our management intern, specifically working with transfer students. Alicia, I'll just let you say a quick hello.
Hi, everyone. As Will said, my name is Alicia. I'm one of the recruitment and outreach management interns here at the College of Global Futures. But more importantly, as a Phoenix College graduate, I'm really passionate about supporting fellow transfer students and ensuring that they have the resources and confidence they need while they're here at ASU. So I really, really look forward to being here and helping you and your students support that and navigating that journey. So I'll hand it back over to you, Will.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. We definitely understand that ASU is a large organization, and sometimes the processes can be complicated. So we're super happy to have Alicia here, specifically working with students who are interested in transferring, just being that point of contact for them on an individual basis to make that transition easier. So yeah, happy to introduce the team. Now I want to play our college hype video for you. love watching that video just because it has so many good kind of visual representations of the work that our students are doing. Um, and again, our vision is really about creating a sustainable, equitable, and vibrant future for everyone on a thriving, healthy planet. And that means something different to every student that's here with us. At the undergraduate level, at the graduate level, they're all working on projects. They're working on being those next change makers to be able to create that equitable and vibrant future for everyone. As you can see in the video, that happens in a lot of different ways, right? Whether it's for the planet, whether it's oceans, whether it's innovation and technology. We'll talk about math here in a minute as well, how students can make an impact through math. It's something that we really take a lot of responsibility in. Just for a quick overview of all of our programs, there's a slide here that kind of does a good overview of them all. So we have the sustainability program, which is our largest school at this point, our largest number of students in there. We have sustainable food systems, Ocean Futures, which is our newest program, which is the main reason probably why most of you are here. We have an applied math degree and then an innovation in society degree as well. Diving into our programs a little more specifically, the Innovation in Society program really bridges that gap between humans and technology. It's called Innovation in Society, but it's really innovation and society, and that interconnection between the two. So when we think about things like AI, new emerging technologies, biotech, right? There are so many really cool and interesting and innovative new technologies out there, but we have to make sure that those technologies are benefiting humans and not taking away human responsibilities and capabilities. So that's really what that school is focused on. We also have our sustainable food systems Bachelor of Science degree, which is food business and farming. A lot of students that are in the sustainable food systems degree will go on to work at the USDA, so the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and that could range from policy, lab work, field work, but it's a very hands-on type of program. And we have our Ocean Futures degree, which is the coastal and marine sciences concentration as well. Working from the desert to the ocean front, super cool. We'll talk a lot more about that in a few minutes. And then we have our sustainability programs, Sustainability BS, so it's reinventing the future of a world at risk. The sustainability program has specific tracks that can focus on energy, materials, economics, and then environmental science. The sustainability BA can focus on that kind of local to global context, governance, policy, and then urban systems, as well as in international development when it comes to sustainability and sustainable practices. And then we also have an applied math for life and social sciences. So essentially what that degree does, it's applying math and data science to daily challenges. So just a quick kind of example of this, working in global health, environmental social science, when we take a look at challenges, right? If it's anything from heat in the desert, right? Phoenix is getting hotter and hotter. What are the projections and what are the models look like for Phoenix in the next few years to try and develop systems and programs and healthcare, right, that we'll need. The Applied Math for Life and Social Science program essentially creates those models and projections to be able to figure out what society needs going forward. So that's a really exciting program. I wanted to also talk about some student initiatives before we really dive into Ocean Futures here. Our college has so many different types of opportunities for students, whether it be research programs. We have the Circular Living Lab. There's Solar Spell, which works on bringing technologies to underdeveloped communities. And this is just 3 separate ones of so many other types of programs. We also have a super extensive study abroad courses as well. We go to all 7 continents. You can see on here Antarctica. We have a group that's going to Antarctica in December. Brazil, Ecuador, Hawaii, Mexico, Hong Kong, right? There's just so many different opportunities for students to be able to study abroad. And there's a large variety of different opportunities as well. For example, the picture that's over here on the right-hand side of your screen is a picture from Ecuador, where they're helping local communities essentially travel more sustainably. And then we have Professor Jesse Sanko here on the bottom, who's helping save sea turtles in the Baja Peninsula. So, so many different types of hands-on experiences for students. One of the opportunities that I wanted to share with you all that is open to students that are even transferring into our college is our Global Impact, or our Global Futures Impact Scholars program. It's an unbelievable program. Students enter into a small cohort of students within the College of Global Futures. We just launched it for this past fall, so fall 24. We have 22 students in the program, and they're not only joining a small cohort of like-minded students, but they also receive $5,000 in order to pursue their own impact. So whether that impact be through research, advancing the health of communities, or if a student wants to do study abroad and go with Jesse Sanko to help save sea turtles, they could use that money for that. There's a lot of different opportunities to use funding, but really wanted to make sure that I shared this with you today, so that students can be aware of this type of program. And again, there's not as many of these types of programs available for students who transfer. So really wanted to make sure that we share this with you. When we talk about our programs in terms of sustainability and innovation, in all of our other programs, it's really important that we talk about the career aspects as well. Our programs are a little non-traditional, right? Like they're not engineering, they're not business. We used to say that we're preparing students for jobs that don't exist yet, but that's really what we found in our research. That's really not the case anymore. The green job industry is booming at this point, and it's only going to keep increasing. So really, there are so many opportunities for students to be able to get really good, well-paying jobs once they graduate. 84% of our students are obtaining a career in their major field. And you can see on the bottom right as well that 66% of our students have a $55,000 a year salary or more. So the jobs that students are getting in these green industries, are very competitive as well. Just for some example of some of the companies that are hiring our alum, you can see there's quite a few different recognizable brands here, right? Target, Nike, Waste Management, SRP. For example, it's also important to kind of share some of the job titles for these different companies as well. So for example, Target has a senior fabric engineer. We have an alum there. Amazon, we have business intelligence engineer. Honeywell, senior conflicts, minerals, and regulatory affairs lead. U-Haul, carbon analyst. Boeing, a conservation project specialist. So you can kind of get the idea of some of the types of jobs that are out there. We have quite a few different ones popping up. Sustainability consultant at Waste Management. Okay, now let's dive into the Ocean Futures. So we're super excited to launch this program this past fall. The degree actually opened for students to be able to apply to it in May. And in that May, we've had so much interest, not only at the undergraduate level, but we've had quite a few transfer students that have been applying as well. But there's just a lot of excitement around this program. So I wanted to, they're not on the call with us today, but highlight Susanna Noor, our founding director of the program. She's an oceanographer by trade. And yeah, she's doing a great job of leading the program right now. And this picture in the background is actually of Bermuda, our students that are working in Bermuda. So the Ocean Futures degree is really about shaping a thriving ocean future and advancing the health of the coastal communities and marine systems, and really doing that through partnerships and innovation. We're based across 3 different campuses. So for us, obviously, our School of Ocean Futures is based out of Tempe here in Arizona. We're located at the Walton Center for Planetary Health. And most of the Ocean Futures staff is on the 3rd floor of our building, which you'll see on the very bottom of the screen. But I also wanted to highlight different potential opportunities for students as well. So we have ASU Center for Global Discovery and Conservation Science that's in Hawaii. And then we also have ASU's Bermuda Institute of Ocean Sciences as well, which is in St. George's, Bermuda. And both of those separate entities, whether it be in Hawaii or whether it be in Bermuda, are working on different types of projects. For example, in Hawaii, they're working on really restoring coastal reef ecosystems. And then in Bermuda, they're really studying the impacts of climate change. Bermuda is a really interesting case because it's a small island that's in the middle of the Atlantic. I think people sometimes think it's kind of, in the smaller chain of islands that's off of Florida, but it's really kind of out in the middle of the Atlantic, and they're seeing a lot of the effects of climate change first. So that's why it's such an interesting case to be able to go and study and learn in Bermuda. So quick little game for you. Why would anybody think about getting a degree in marine science, especially when we live here in Arizona? So you can just play along. If you want to throw some guesses in the chat, you're more than welcome to. Definitely don't feel like you have to. But oceans cover what percentage of the Earth's surface? The answer is 70%. The ocean is a primary source of food for how many people globally? How many people? 3.5 billion people. What are some of the ways in which the ocean and the desert are interconnected? So really a lot of our water supply, even here in the desert, right, comes from the ocean. Okay. And oxygen as well. It's 60% of the air that we breathe, even here in the desert, comes from the ocean. And then also climate and weather play a huge factor in the impact that we have here in the desert as well. So a lot of times students may be interested in oceans, but they're like, why does it make sense for me to study oceans here in the desert, right? These are some of the examples in ways in which the desert and the ocean are interconnected. And then last, what are some of the challenges that oceans are facing? You can probably guess some of these already, but rising sea levels is huge. And pollution, biodiversity loss, and overfishing. And a lot of these, we can work with coastal communities on developing solutions, which is what our students are actively doing in the Ocean Futures School. So specifically, why a marine science degree at ASU? What our founding director Susanna Neuer is really pushing for is new marine science, right? That is focused on solving and creating solutions. We need new scientists that are working with a wide variety of partners and stewards of the coastal and marine environment, right? So you're working with other scientists, you're working with local communities to be able to advance knowledge. So it's really more encompassing than just, let's say like specifically like a marine biology degree. There's just a lot more different aspects to it. And a lot of different also job opportunities with it as well. So again, thinking about why a marine science degree at ASU, focusing on kind of the next wave of a blue economy. So the United Nations sees the blue economy as the ocean's next great economic frontier. So when we think about, all the different types of, industry that's out there, the blue economy is going to be something we're going to be hearing more and more about over the next few years. And then the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So looking to 2030, many of the ocean-based industries will have the potential to outperform growth of the global economy as a whole, both in terms of the value added and employment, right? So if students are concerned about what types of jobs that are available, basically the forecasting models from OEC are forecasting that there's going to be a lot of different jobs added for this. So really exciting and an opportune time for us to be able to create this type of program to create those jobs. So we did want to talk about what some of the courses look like. So I'm going to turn it over to Beth.
Yeah.
Here.
Hi, I'm Beth Volker. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Academic Services in the College of Global Futures. So I work with the advising team. And this picture on this slide is kind of a nice visual representation, I think, of the Ocean Futures curriculum. So if you start up in the top left-hand corner, students are going to have an introduction to Ocean Futures. And then at the same time, they're going to be, going down these two different columns where they're going to be working on foundational sciences. So they're going to be doing chemistry, they're going to be doing biology, some of them might be doing physics. They're going to be learning more about ocean communities, and they're going to do some quantitative methods and quantitative applications courses. So they are getting pre-calculus, calculus, they're getting statistics, some courses like that. And then it all comes together with oceanography they'll take. And then they have these kind of buckets of areas. There's the stewardship bucket and there's a partnership bucket. There's also one that's called experiential aquatic course bucket that's not required yet, but gives students an opportunity if they did want to go and get some hands-on experience, like in Hawaii or in Bermuda someplace. But they have some choices of different types of courses that they want to focus on that are related to stewardship. So like there's a course called Arctic Futures. There's one called Should I Eat Fish? For partners, it's kind of like working with other fields to come together to solve problems. So like there's one called Water Narratives and Societal Change. There's a Mediating Ocean Future. So students will have some options that they can choose from related to stewardship and partnerships. They do have an opportunity to take electives as part of this program. So we have a number of SEA electives, things like Digital Blue Planet. We've got research diving methods, tropical marine ecology, marine invertebrate zoology. So like lots of different options that they can choose from that will focus specifically on kind of where their interests lie. And then the culminating experience that they will have will include a workshop and a capstone, or if they're interested in doing more of a thesis, they can do something like that. So those will bring together all the things that they've learned throughout the program. So I guess my main thing would be to let you know that the SCA courses, as of right now, they're not offered at the community college that I'm aware of. So when you're working with your students, I think the main thing would be to focus on general studies gold requirements, to focus on math and sciences, biology, chemistry, those kinds of courses that they can get at the community college are going to be really helpful when they transfer to ASU to finish up the rest of this program.
Cool.
And then this one is just a list of some of the intro requirements that students are taking, like some of these SEA courses that they're going to get when they come here to ASU. So there's like an intro class that they'll all take, and they're going to take biology of the marine environment, and like I said, oceanography. They've got some conservation options. So it's just kind of showing what some of these SEA courses are.
Perfect. Thank you, Beth. So we did want to dive in and talk about some of the some of the learning experiences for our students who are interested or pursuing an ocean futures degree. We have quite a few different options. So we have a summer semester option that's available at BIOS, which again is the Bermuda Institute of Ocean Sciences. They can also do a fall semester at BIOS as well. There's field experience in the Gulf of California, which I mentioned, potentially saving sea turtles, right, with Jesse Senko. Also the Antarctica trips with its humans in the environment. And then in Hawaii, what we're currently working on different opportunities for students to be able to go to Hawaii. We should have experiential learning opportunities up and available for fall of 2025. In the College of Global Futures, we have a few other study abroad programs that go to Hawaii, but specifically for Ocean Futures and the local campus that we have there, they're building out what those opportunities will look like. So they'll be here very soon. And then again, just to kind of bring it back full circle, like we do have the Global Futures Impact Scholars Program, which again is that small cohort program that's available. And so if your students are interested in Ocean Futures, right, but they want this, experiential learning opportunities, right? This is funding that can go to advance their own projects, If they wanted to use the $5,000 to do that, summer experience at BIOS, or the fall semester at BIOS, or any one of the other opportunities that are available for our students, this the Global Futures Impact Scholars Program can be a really good fit for them. So wanted to make sure that we share that again. And then our last slide here before I turn it back over to Kathy, is we are hosting here at the College of Global Futures at our building here on Tempe campus. We're hosting a Futures Forward event, where all of our undergraduate programs are going to be presenting and talking more in depth about what each program is doing. So it's essentially like a mini symposium for all the opportunities and programs at our undergraduate levels. So sustainability will be presenting and working there. Ocean Futures will be there as well. Innovation in Society will do something, and then the applied math folks will do something as well. We will be offering breakfast and for this, and we will validate parking as well. So we're trying to make it super easy for you to be able to attend. But this event will be happening on Friday, November 11th. I think it's actually November 13th, right?
No, November 15th.
Okay, Friday, November 15th. Sorry about that. From 8:30 to 12:30. We'll make sure that we get you the right date. But if you scan that QR code and register, we'd love to have you here. And you get the chance to interact with some of our faculty members and to learn more specifically about each of our programs. So we're really looking forward to hosting this event. Please come. Cool. And then if you have any questions, you can always email us at cgf@asu.edu. Shelby, who's on the call here, is hosting tours all the time. So come do a tour with Shelby. And then you can scan this QR code if you have any questions as well. I'll pause here for a second. Okay, Kathy, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you so much for all the good information, especially that scholarship information. That's really exciting for students. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit of information about my path to ASU. Many of you are already familiar with our wonderful transfer tool, but if you're not, or if you need a refresher, here we go again. There's a lot of benefits to my path to ASU for students. They can save time and money overall on their college education because they're following a course by course and term by term pathway. They're maximizing their transfer credit through you at the community college. And then when they are taking their classes along the way, they can track their progress using the pathway. And then they receive personalized communications from us about events, both online and in person. So they're in touch with ASU and get information about planning ahead while they're still studying with you and hopefully completing their associate's degree as well. They have access, of course, to our ASU transfer coordinators and pre-enrollment services before they apply and are admitted to ASU. And then once they're admitted, they are able to connect with academic advisors in their college or school at ASU. And they get guaranteed admission into the program of their choice when they meet all of the pathway requirements. So the coursework and any additional admission requirements that are listed on the pathway, they're all there in that centralized resource. All right, so there's two little routes for my path to ASU sign up, and one is for our Maricopa Community Colleges partners. And then right after this, I'm going to go into if you're working with students at colleges outside of Maricopa County in Arizona, then we'll go through your steps. But these are Maricopa's steps. And well, there's a lot of little clicks here, so hopefully you can help me out here. There's a special web page just for Maricopa. It's a landing page on our admissions part of our website. And so you can see that URL there. So there's two buttons. And well, if you go ahead and click twice, it'll make those readable. And one more time. There you go. Thanks. Now I can read it. So on the left there is that sign up button for students. So when they're ready to sign up, they can click there. And on the right is something that you would use as an advisor or faculty member, somebody who's supporting students in learning about My Path to ASU, or if you just want to look up requirements for students as you're working with them, that would be the way to go, is to look at My Path to ASU majors, and then you can just quickly access those. You don't even have to set up an account. And then if you can click one more time, when students in Maricopa say they want to sign up for My Path to ASU by clicking on that left button, then it takes them into Maricopa's student information system, and they are asked to enter their Maricopa Enterprise ID, their MEID, and password. And then that takes them into Maricopa's system to sign up for a pathway. All right, so we're ready to go to the next one. And if you'll click one more time, when students enter their MEID and password, they go into their academic plan. So signing up for My Path to ASU as a Maricopa student is essentially the same as setting your academic plan or changing your academic plan. And so they're going to open that academic plan in their student center. So, well, if you want to go ahead and click through a few times, it'll show all those steps that I'm sure our Maricopa advisors are very, very familiar with now. So it opens the plan in their student center. They click on change plan / subplan in the left-hand menu, and then they click on add change ASU pathway. And then they select the next term that has not started yet. So the next semester that has not started yet. And we always advise that students, and I'm sure you do too, talk with one of you about which term makes the most sense for them based on their catalog year, when they plan to transfer, and if there have been any recent changes and all of that, on which term is the right one for them to select. If they select the wrong one, then it is fixable, but they will need your intervention at the community colleges to do that. And then they'll select their ASU degree pathway, and they'll indicate if they're going to be attending ASU in person or online. And then they'll see a summary of their new plan. They click, if it's accurate, they click OK to confirm their plan and acknowledge that FERPA allows our institutions to share their academic information, and acknowledge that their sign up has been submitted. Now we're switching over to, these are your sign up steps for your students if you are working at colleges out of state or in Arizona outside of Maricopa County. So probably the easiest place to start is mypath2asu.asu.edu. And by the way, Maricopa students can start there too, and it takes them back over to that other sign up. So they click on sign up. It takes them to the ASU login page, so they would click on sign up again. They indicate where they're transferring from, what they would like to study at ASU, so they select the major, the degree, college, and location, all narrowed down for them based on that major that they've chosen, so they know what their options are as far as the colleges and locations for their program. And they let us know when they're expecting to start at ASU. They enter some information about themselves so we know who's signing up for what. And then they are prompted to set up a password. And from that point on, go ahead and click one more time, please. Then they can sign into their transfer guide to track their progress anytime and mark classes as in progress or completed. And if you go to the next one, then you can see a close-up of what that transfer guide looks like there, with ASU's courses in the left-hand column and the courses in the middle as your institution's courses. And those tabs across the top, the course search, My Path to ASU, exam search, and student resources, are also very helpful, especially that course search one, because if students have gone anywhere other than your institution or your district, then they can look at how those courses may transfer and apply to their program. And so it's really a course equivalency guide there that we maintain internally. And then they can also enter military credit there as well to see how that would possibly transfer. And then exam search allows them to look up scores on that they've earned on CLEP, IB, AP, and so on, to see how those would apply to their program. I think that might wrap it up for my path and take us right into some time for Q&A with the College of Global Futures. So We can use the chat or we can use Q&A, whichever you like better. Or if you'd like us to unmute you, if you're not already, we can do that too. I'm going through and clicking that everybody's allowed to talk. So if you have any questions, just feel free to talk. I see a question about veterans getting credit for training. Where is that again? That would be a student would click on the course search on the transfer guide to see how their military credits could possibly apply toward their program. Usually those are going to apply as elective credits, as I'm sure you've found through your experience. But that, will tell them how they would transfer to ASU. And I'm also going to pull up our Veterans Center so that you can get more comprehensive assistance for your students who are either veterans or active military, because that'll be a lot more useful than just seeing that one resource on the transfer guide. Plus, even before they're signed up for My Path to ASU, they can use our Pat Tillman Veterans Center as a resource for information. And so this is the website for that. Oh, and I also have something else that I'm going to push through right now about our National Transfer Week webinars coming up. And then here's the Pat Tillman Veterans Center link for you.
Then we had another question in the chat that was, can a transfer student request a schedule meeting with a CGF, College of Global Futures advisor directly? And Beth answered yes. Please see Beth and her amazing team that can help guide students. So thank you, Beth, for doing that for our transfer students. And then Beth posted the link to advising as well.
There's another question. Who would be the best contact in the Ocean Futures program to start discussing curriculum offerings at Maricopa? Will, would it be appropriate for the curriculum and transfer office, the CCTA at Maricopa, or this curriculum office at any of our other partnering institutions to contact you to be connected with faculty about curriculum discussions?
Yeah, Beth, would you say that probably makes the most sense?
I think it would probably go through it would go through the university with the Transfer Alliance, but we can certainly direct someone to the right people.
So academic transfer credit solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we can help get you connected to the faculty to do that too. Yeah.
And academic transfer credit solutions will also reach out to academic units too. I just remember that. Thanks for the reminder on that.
Cool. Any other questions?
This is the director of academic transfer credit solutions for any curriculum connections that you want to make between your institution and ASU. We hope you'll all join us for National Transfer Week. We are still even adding sessions today. I think the schedule might be solid after today, but please check back frequently. There's going to be two keynote speakers and a bunch of partner updates and My Path to ASU information. Also some great transfer data on how ASU and our partners are making an impact for transfer students, both in California and in Arizona. And of course, that information could apply to you wherever you are. So we hope you'll join us for that.
I just put in the chat too. Thank you all for attending. But if you have any additional questions or follow up, please feel free to email us. And yeah, we're happy to connect with students as well. We've done a great job of our team, hosting students on campus. So if you have anyone that's even just interested, have them reach out to Shelby, whose contact info is in the presentation, and we'll coordinate a visit for your students, or even a group. If you want to bring a group of students over, we're happy to accommodate.
Well, thank you, College of Global Futures. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Have a great day.